Painkiller Ghosts, Chapter 36, It Already Feels Like Something, Part 2 of 2. In the morning, Link goes outside in the daylight and walks around Chastity's house. He pauses at the window, looking in towards the television. He sees the trampled grass, and he bends it down to look closer, and he finds the burnt-out joint on the ground, and he picks it up, and he takes it inside to show Chastity in time. This is that day, today, and this is how it is. Time didn't go with Link today. He slept late on the sofa, and then he woke up and cooked some bacon for Chastity. Chastity has unplugged the television and made a makeshift window on the curtain out of a quilt. The bacon burnt a little, grease spits out of the frying pan and lands on Time's filthy tennis shoes. He smiles. It'll make them smell a little better. He drains grease down the sink. He thinks of Mama and how she always would get after him for doing that. And she'd always skillfully pour the hot grease from the pan into an empty wine bottle nestled just so in the trash can. He remembers the bacon Mama would make for him. Just a little burnt, a little black, just the way he liked it. Chastity is walking around the inside of the house, going from window to window, making sure they are locked. She's closing all the blinds and pulling the curtains closed. Time turns off the stove burner, puts the frying pan down on a cold burner. Then he leaves the kitchen, goes up the stairs, and he comes back down in a minute with his camera dangling around his neck. I'm going outside. He opens the front door and walks out. He turns the corner past the driveway and goes around to the windows where Link had found the joint this morning, the dew and the grass. And Time stands there at the window, just thinking. From there he takes a picture of the faint footprints in the grass. Time follows the steps through the yard, into the yard next door, which is another empty house. And he walks towards the shed in the corner of that yard. He goes around the corner of the shed and notices where the grass was all pushed down from Stan the night before. He takes a picture of that area. He stands there for a minute, then two. And then he follows the steps through another yard until they end at a sidewalk, and left without a trail, Time turns and walks back to the shed, then to Chastity's backyard, then to the window, and then back inside the front door where the smell of bacon brought him back into the warmth of the house and made his stomach rumble. He walks into the kitchen where Chastity is, and he walks up behind her, and his camera's around his neck and bumping gently but coldly into Chastity's back. After some bacon, Time walks back out the front door, and for the first time in weeks since Mama's house burnt down, he hears those dog tags clinking together in the yard, and he smiles and says to the empty air next to him, "I was wondering where you've been." It's later that day, and this is how it is. Lincoln opens the front door with the key Chastity had given him. The doors stay locked all night and all day now. And he comes in wordlessly, and he sits on the empty sofa. Time's on the floor, his back against the wall, reading one of his mother's books. Chastity is wanderingly, aimlessly around the room, doing nothing. Link coughs a little, rubs his nose, and says to Time, "I saw your Mama today." "You saw Mama?" "I did, I swear, it was weird." "Yeah, I've seen her. So has Chastity. She was just standing there at a stop sign on the corner, and she was just staring at me." "Smiling?" "No." "Frowning?" "No." Yeah." Chastity says, "I saw her on television on a cooking show once. She knew my name." Link goes on, "Maybe next time I should try to talk to her?" Time asks, "What would you say?" "I guess I say, tell my pops that I miss him." It's a little while later. Now. Sometimes I wonder if my mom is dead. Chastity's speaking aloud to Time and Link. They're on the front porch, in sweaters, drinking cans of beer. It's turned a little warmer as the day went on. The sun is almost down. Link and Time continue on their beers. I wonder if my dad is dead. I could have walked past their graves in the cemetery and not even known it. I could have stumbled over her grave and not even known it. Maybe I should try to talk to Mama next time I see her. Maybe I should do it. I should ask her if she's seen my parents. Time asks, what if she asks their names? I don't know if names are as important on the other side as they are here. Link asks, what if she asks what they look like? She says, I'll just say that I bet they look a lot like me, or that I look a lot like them. Time asks, well, what if she says they're not here? That they're here, alive? What if? Link asks, would you look for them? I doubt they want me to. No one wants a 30-something-year-old baby girl with issues. She smiles at herself. Link goes on, seems to me, after me losing Pop and with Time's mama dying and all, it just seems to me that if you had the chance to find your mom, well, I think I'd do it if I were you. Time says, not me. Not me. I bet my dad is alive. But that doesn't mean I need him or even want contact with him. And I doubt he's been sitting around for about 3.5 decades wondering when I'm going to call or send him a birthday party invitation. I bet he doesn't even know I exist. If he did, he's forgotten about me. Maybe even intentionally, I'd say. Link says, but you're part of him. He's part of you. Hey, just because he slept with my mom doesn't mean a whole lot to me. The rotting brain Stan Thimble shit slept with my mom and we're not exactly endeared to each other. Chastity speaks. I agree, Time. Nature is nature. Reproduction. The birds and the bees. But that has nothing to do with me. They're inside now. A little later, Chastity asks to Link, what happened to your mother? Oh, she died years ago when I was in high school in a car wreck. She was on medication, had a drink or two, decided she needed to go to the store. And she decided to go to the store across the river. She missed the bridge completely. Her car went down a steep hill, landed in some rocks. No one saw it, or at least no one stopped. The next morning some joggers found her, dying. Dying but not dead. She died later that morning. A little later still, and Link asks Chastity, what if you found out you had a brother or a sister? She's silent for a minute, then two, then answers, if it came down to I just had a brother or a sister and we take the parents out of the equation, I'd be thrilled. I think I'd try to find them. I think I would find them. I know I would find them. She stops talking for a minute, then two, stares at the wall with a smile on her face. Yes. Yeah. I think I would find them. And I think it would be good. It would feel good. In fact, it already feels like, oh, I don't know, but it already feels like something. She doesn't speak for an hour. She just sits there, smiling. She is not even stoned. Later, she stops smiling and speaks softly to Time. I already feel good. Better. It's funny how you get mad about something for so long, and then you meet people, friends, and they can ask you these simple questions, and it's like a new light, a new life, a new feeling. What if I had a sister? And then I thought about it for a little while, and I thought, what if I had more than a sister? What if I had a daughter? I mean, I've always tried to talk myself out of it for stupid reasons. I've always hated the idea of parents because I never had parents. For once, I don't want to feel so alone, not so alone. I hate having things, but not having anybody. They all dreamed that night. Chastity dreams she's on the beach again in the same t-shirt and shorts. The water is calmer. The sky is clear. It's sunny, but she doesn't feel hot. She's holding the hand of a child, a little boy this time. And he looks a little like her. And he's running around in sandy diapers. The water is calm. And she still looks into the waves for her mother to be floating around. But she doesn't see her. She smiles and she feels better. Good. She feels good even. Link dreams that he gets home from work after dropping time off, and he grabs the mail, and he's opening checks from his customers, and he opens one that has Mama's burnt down address as the return address, and he opens it, and it's a check dated just 2 days ago for trash service, and it's signed by Suzanne, and the memo section simply says, "Thanks." And then he wakes up, and when he falls asleep again, he starts to dream about the waitress at the bar. Time dreams he's working at the store when Mama was still alive, and Aaron was still alive, and Time was barefoot and employed, at least a little. He's putting small glass containers of olives onto the shelves. He's got boxes and boxes of olives near him. Erin walks down the aisle wearing her name tag and clipboard, and she's alive and she's working. She walks up to Time and says words that she said to him before. I've had dreams at night about him. Bad dreams. And then she walks off, and Time keeps on working in his dream. And then she comes down the aisle again and repeats everything again, like she didn't just come down. She walks up time and time again and says to Time over and over, "I've had dreams at night about him. Bad dreams." And Time hears it over and over. "I've had dreams at night about him. Bad dreams." Sitting there, stocking olives. Stan dreams about Erin and her house, alive. And he dreams he's walking up to her front door, and he opens it, and he walks in, and it's a bad dream in a good way, or a good dream in a bad way. And in the dream, he really enjoyed it. But Erin, of course, did not.